So there, last video of the year, last video of the decade, and what's been my favourite moment, the most monumental moment is moving from the Boleyn ground, eh? All that history, all those years there. Off the top of my head, I think it's 112 years. You know, it was a lovely place to go, wasn't it? It was romantic. And whenever I used to go there, I always felt like a little kid going for the first time. It was wonderful. Do you know what I mean? Brings up a romantic feeling, shall we say? You know what I'm saying. It just brings up that little childhood memory in you every time I used to go, and it made me feel burst with pride when I go there. So, you know, that's a good moment, a memorable moment for the last 10 years. That's mine. We've got to create some more moments at the new stadium, really. I don't quite feel the same. But there you go. We have to move on. And I'll leave it at that. Just gives me a chance to say Happy New Year to you all. Let's hope it's healthy, wealthy and wise. And with the new appointment, let's see what he can do. All right then. Take it easy. All the best, yeah. As I said, Happy New Year. Up the Hammers.
Hello everyone, Kevin Saylor at Sex, Drugs and Carlton Cole, and this week's question from Hammers Polls is, what has been your highlight of the last decade? We've got Payet's free kick in there, we've got Carroll's overhead kick in there, we've got Ravel Morrison's solo run against Spurs in there. But what I'm going to say is, it's the highlight, definitely for me, was the last season at the Boleyn Ground, the complete season overall. You know, the spirit of the Boleyn carried through that squad. Obviously, I've had a great player in Payet. Slaven Bilic, you know, played a massive part in that season for us as well. You know, Julian Dix coming back, my favourite all-time player, was in the dugout with Slav. I think it was just a magical, magical season for so many reasons. And that's been one of the highlights of me supporting West Ham full stop, to be honest. That whole season in general, you know, the results we had against the Big Four, the Big Six even. Finishing 7th, we were 2 wins away from Champions League football. And it just hasn't been the same since then, has it, guys? So I'm going to go with number 4, Other, which was the entire season, the last season at the Boleyn. I don't think we're ever going to see a season like that again. Hopefully we will. But, you know, that was just very unique, that season, for so many reasons. So I'm going to say my highlight of the decade was the last season at the Boleyn. See you all next year. Happy New Year. Come on, you irons.
Hi guys, Katie from West Ham, Philly. Just wanted to comment on the Hammers poll as to what the top event of this past decade was for West Ham. So I would have to say one of my personal favorites was definitely Andy Carroll's over-the-head kick. It was truly a remarkable goal. But as a West Ham fan, we must all agree that Winston Reid's final goal at Upton Park was by far one of the most memorable moments as a West Ham fan. So with that, we're looking forward to 2020. Come on, you Irons.
Hi, it's Adam here from the West Ham Is Why We Drink podcast. Looking back on my highlight of this decade. It's a bit of a bittersweet one for me because I moved in 2013 from London to America. So I've spent most of this decade not home. And so my moment is, even though I wasn't there, the last game of the season at the Boleyn Ground, Upton Park, against Manchester United. I don't want to say it was the goal, it was really just the whole event. Me and my friend Rich were at the bar in McSwiggan's here in Dallas, and we were watching the game. And at the end, because of all of the, you know, shenanigans that went on with the bus before the game, it was delayed, and so the coverage was delayed, so we didn't get to see everything after the game on the TV. So we pulled up our phones, me and Rich, and we were watching the the whole festivities that they did after the game on our phones, and the two of us were just sobbing away at the bar. And you know, for me, it was the big moment because there's a lot of memories there. You know, my first ever game against Bolton back in like '95. My second game, which was my favourite game with my granddad, where we beat Tottenham 4-3. That was the Hartson and Kitson game. You know, my granddad's not with us anymore, and so things like that. That place held a lot of special memories for me, and so that was my highlight. Strangely enough, one of my other highlights was the first game against Juventus at the new stadium. Walking up to that place, it kind of felt like going to Wembley. Obviously, there's no soul there, but it was another moment for me. Anyway, let's hope that somehow we can push onwards and upwards and stay positive, love our lives. Come on, you Irons.
We have had so many high moments over the last 10 years. I know it doesn't seem like it, but we really have. I'm really struggling to narrow it down. You know, Bilic's first season in charge, beating Liverpool away for the first time in 52 years, beating our now former manager Pellegrini's Manchester City side, beating Arsenal the first game of the season, the last ever game at the Bowling for that matter. There's just so many to choose from, but I think my highest memory, it's really tricky to narrow it down. I really can't narrow it down. It is so difficult, it is unbelievable. For me, it's either one of the two, because I can't make my mind up between the two. It's when we beat Brighton 6-0 in the Championship. That was a fantastic day, absolutely superb. God, I hope David Moyes, when he comes in, he can get them playing the way that we played that day. That was just incredible. Vazte's hat-trick. Oh, God. Obviously the last day at the Bowling Ground as well. That game was just superb. Winston Reid's header against Millwall in the Championship. Beating Liverpool, beating City, beating Arsenal. Going unbeaten an entire season over Spurs, beating them home and away. Also in the League Cup in that season under Allardyce. Jesus. This is a very, very hard question. It's taken me a long time to think about it. But I think my highest memory and a day that I will never, ever forget is going to be the playoff final. It was just, the day was superb. I will never forget that day. That game was nerve-wracking, to say the least. Blackpool played very, very well, but we just pipped a few minutes here and there and we got the victory. And what a day that was. All the songs that were being sung. Absolutely. That was my highest moment. Guys, it's been a fantastic 2019 in terms of YouTube for this channel, as well as my own JPWH UTV. I just want to wish you all a very happy new year, and hopefully get to see some of you guys for the Bournemouth game tomorrow. Or today, depending on when Ian's going to put this video up. But guys, thank you very much for all your support. And don't forget to share this video. All the best.